All right, we're getting ready to go up and send the drone up, get a quick reference measurements or photos and reference measurements of this house we're at. So let me get this just booting up here real fast so it can start getting its GPS coordinates, whatever it needs to do to boot up. And then while it's doing that, we're gonna run around the house real fast. Takes a minute to sync with the satellites. So I was actually here, 3 years ago, 3 or so years back. We did a roof over here, and this homeowner called me. Look at this chimney back here. While I'm out here, I'm gonna get some pictures of the front and the back. Get one here, geo time stamped and everything. So I'm covering that like I did the other day. Regular camera. So he called about a chimney leak. We had some really strong winds. I don't even know what it was blowing. I woke up this morning about 2:05 in the morning. Really strong winds, heavy rain. He ended up calling in this morning because he had some water coming in the chimney over here in the 2-story. Wanted to know if he could get it repaired, but the roof is a 25-year shingle, and he had it put on like 25 years ago. So he's wanting to get a repair, not necessarily the roof, but looking at it, knowing how much granule loss we've got on the back side or the front side facing the south there, I don't want to really try to get into flat bar this whole chimney side off or around it, or even do that whole side for that matter, when they're so worn out, possibly brittle, possibly tearing. That's a steep pitch roof, and that's a good 2-story right here, 3-story out the back. So what I'm going to recommend, what I told him, is if you do the chimney and just in a couple more years you do the roof, that was all kind of pointless. So just plan on replacing the roof. He asked if you can get a price on replacing it and then just the repair. So we're gonna do that, but you gotta kind of compensate, you know, what it's gonna take to send some guys out to flat bar this apart, tear that side off, whatever, do the chimney, probably build the cricket out farther because it almost looks like it's a little short right there. It doesn't quite come out to the corner, and I don't see any extension flashing coming out. I don't see any pieces kicking out on the sides. We came around the back, so I got pictures back there, but I didn't see the front. Same here. Nothing kicking out on that back side right there. Let me bring up this pitch gauge. Pitch gauge. Try to get out there with this pitch gauge tool. So you can typically get this from the ground. You don't even have to go up there. Just line this line up with your gable right there. You can see it's at 12. And snap a picture of it. So you got that picture on your phone you can attach to your customer file. I'm gonna try to get a couple more detailed photos of the stuff up here, flashing, browse, note all this stuff here. And it's probably a 12 too. I think the whole thing's consistently 12. Some people will just pay for the Eagle View reports, but there's software out there where it's actually relatively easy. I pay 100, I think, 100, 110, maybe 125 per month. And I can sketch unlimited roofs. It takes a few minutes to do. It's not that big of a deal. So I guess it just depends if you're some big company has crazy budget and marketing, you just want to pay for Eagle View, but comment down below, what did you last pay for an Eagle View? Was it like $40 to $80 based on the size of the roof, the squares and stuff like that? I think something like this, it's a little complex as far as like being cut up everywhere. You got valleys, hips, little brows and all that. When it comes to the brows, I don't put the time into all those. I can just add some square for the brows, add some edge metal, things like that. But for me to sketch this out, we're probably talking 15 minutes maybe at the desk, sipping on a drink while I eat my lunch, sketch it out, have everything done. There's no time, no delays, and you can really save a ton of money doing that, or just have an in-house worker, a receptionist, somebody, project manager. I mean, anyone can be trained to do this. It's pretty simple. You just plot your cursor on the different facets and things. You say if this is an eave, this is a gable, that's a hip, what's the pitch, and it does all the calculations, gives you a table for it, just like you would traditionally see with Eagle View. All right, so let's go. This should be good. There's a sticker on there. That's all my information for the FAA because I am Part 7 licensed here, so I can do this and monetize, charge for it for business. I will say there's a lot of people out there that do this. Well, I'm not charging for the work. It doesn't matter if you're using it for business. It's considered commercial work, and you should have your Part 107. So exciting news, part 108 is coming out. It's autonomous flying. Can't wait for all that. All right, this is the DJI Mavic 3, soon to be banned. This thing is so nice. It, no control here touching, right? It's locked in with GPS. Check this out. If I push it over, it'll crab back to that spot. That's how accurate that is. There's sensors on it, so it should, well, depending upon how you have it set. There's sensors under it, sensors over it, all those little eyes, and I'm not even touching it. It's got a nice high-def live feed here. So let's go up real quick, switch this to camera. To get an image of this, just in case I don't have a good image with the software, because it'll give you like a Google map and then some credits you can use or buy, you can use Near Map. Make sure I've got the camera in view here for you guys. Tell you what, let me set my viewfinder down, make sure I got it, because I can't do it while I got my wireless mic on. Damn. I'm just gonna have to hope this is on there. When you are, oh, it's recording. When you're using that software, if you use Google Images, switch over. Sometimes they're not good, sometimes they're with the deciduous trees, the leaves on it you can't see and it's obscuring the roof. Switch to camera. There we go. So if I'm here, I'm just going to send the drone up real quick. It just takes a few minutes to launch, get some pictures. I can legally go up to 400 foot or 400 foot above the highest obstacle. So if you're within a tower, you can fly within 400 foot radius of that tower and then go 400 foot above that that tower of 100, so you could go to 500 feet, if that makes sense. There's other things and regulations, but that's outside the video here. So I usually try to get one or two of those with it right in the center. When the house is big or steep pitch roofs or multiple layers, you want to be as high as possible because your scaling can be a little weird between the different floors because of the distance of the camera. So to give you kind of an example, you see what that image looks like right there from 376 feet up. When they come down to just a little bit above the roof, and you'll see the gables start protruding outward because the angle the camera is looking at. So now, do you see how this gable right here is looking like it's protruding out? Because as I come down closer to that, you're having to change your focal point down and out at that roof. So it gets a little distorted and weird, wonky. But I still do try to get one close up so you can count pipes, things like that. And again, these are all, they're not wasted because if you get the job, then you can use this for before, during, and after. Make sure there's no trees over here in my height. Try to come down up on this chimney here and see what may or may not be going on over here. The sensors are going to probably stop me from going into the roof. See how it wants to automatically go up? But this is such high res, I can actually zoom in and crop in on this a little later. I can see right here that that caulking is failing. Come out here real quick, there's a tree right over that way. Picture that pipe bit real fast. Looks shiny, I'm not sure what's going on with that. And then I think the shingles themselves, just looking at the front, they're pretty worn out as far as the granules coming off everywhere. All right, that's about all we need right here with the drone. I can use that picture at my desk and get this figured. There we go. Then the only other thing I need to do is a reference measurement, so that'll just take a quick second. What I try to do for a reference measurement, sometimes if your truck or vehicle or known measurement is close, like my other truck, I could clearly see my black brush guard and the black part of the truck, and I knew the dimensions of it. I don't know, this is a newer model, maybe it's a little different, I don't have the brush guard on it. But what I was saying is you can get a measurement of that, or set 2 cones out, or what I do is measure a section. But if you're gonna measure a section, I try to measure one that's big. And my thought process between that is, if I'm measuring this right here, say it's like 6 foot, and I plot it as 6 foot, but it's actually 6'6", it's bigger than what I'm saying. Now that 6 foot, you go to 12, you're now a foot off. You go to 24, you're 2 foot off. You can see where I'm going with this. So what I try to do is measure a large section. You don't even have to go up on the roof for that. Let me grab this right here. I imagine other softwares are like Roof Snaps, but Roof Snap, when you take your image and it says, okay, you need to scale verify this if you're importing an image, you can put your cursor anywhere. So you can literally say this corner of the house all the way to this corner. It does not matter. So I could measure the driveway if I wanted. So what we're gonna do is go right here off of this gutter, because I should easily be able to see that in frame. Looking down that gutter, we're gonna stick it right here in the yard. And then I'm just gonna run this out to the other gutter over here. Pardon me, I'm still getting over a cold. Just looking down this gutter so it looks like it's in a line, it's not crooked. You know, if you see much of the gutter like this, then you're too high. See it down here? You're too short. About right here, and we're at about 60 foot. That's a fair, even number here for when a framer was framing and planning something. So I'm gonna roll that at 60 foot. Typically, because I'm completely paperless, I would usually, if I am taking sketch notes, like in the video I did earlier today, I would sketch it on a notepad and take a picture of that. But then this here, I can just simply do that and have a picture of it. 60 foot. So I got my reference measurement and I know my pitch. That's all you need to know. And I know there's some in the comments section saying, oh, just order an angle view report. You can actually save a ton. Put that money elsewhere. To each his own, is that what they say? Ah! Knew it was gonna do something I didn't want it to. All right, and that's a wrap. That's all I need. I told this guy because he wanted a repair estimate. It is Friday, later in the day. This is gonna be it. I got 2 or 3 more stops I'm gonna try to get done, but I'm not gonna figure this until next week. But that's all I need. I've got my pitch. I have an idea of overall photo reference measurements to see the different penetrations and things. Got the image just in case I don't have it now. I don't even have to use this, it's a backup. If the image comes to me and I can get a good map image with no trees, or a near map if I want to and have credits, where the case may be, I don't need this, but I have it since I'm already here on the job site. So hopefully you got a little knowledge, benefit, entertainment out of this. Until next time, see you then.